Welcome to our April 2016 Park City Market Talk webinar. I'm Ron Wilstein, a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Properties in Park City.
And I'm Doug Olmstead, the seller's property consultant specialist here on the Wilstein team. Thank you so much for joining us today.
We've got lots to cover with you today, and of course we're in between seasons. Deer Valley and Park City closed for their 2015-2016 ski season. Wonderful, much more snow than previous years.
Indeed, yeah.
And I got about 30 or so days of skiing in, and it was great. How about you?
I got only about 20 days, which is kind of embarrassing for a local, but they were good quality powder days, that good Utah champagne powder.
All right. So with the ski season coming to an end, we want to draw your attention to the summer activities, and you can, of course, head over to the Jordanelle for water sports, whether fishing or water activities of skiing and wakeboarding. Of course, we have concerts, we've got mountain biking, we've got lots going on here during the summer months, so we want to share some of those details with you near the end of our presentation today.
I'm going to tell you about the St. Regis Big Stars and Bright Nights lineup. Some pretty good names coming this summer. And you're familiar with Barron's publication, the premier investment publication. Their Penta magazine has named Park City the #3 destination for have a second home.
Excellent. We'll give you those details and more. And then, of course, we will always give you our Park City market update, let you know what has been selling and where prices are. And I want to take a special segment here on medium sold prices. We report on that all the time, but we don't necessarily show the relationship of how that impacts the time that your property could be on the market. So we're going to expand upon that a little bit in today's session.
And of course, we're going to go over tips to get your home sold in this home selling season.
All right, so we have a lot on our plate here. Let's hop right into it. Deer Valley. Deer Valley, big year here. Of course, they didn't do as many improvements as they historically have done, but the skiing is always great. The resort is always terrific, and the food service. This was a big year because there was a memorial for Stein Erikson, who passed away this year. And we actually have a picture to our side here of the Stein Erikson residences, which is one of the latest developments in Deer Valley, which is selling. So Deer Valley has been very active in real estate.
Park City, the $50 million improvements have really paid off. Skied a lot here this year. In fact, one of the goals of mine was since they combined this mountain, was to see if I could ski the whole mountain in one day, all the way over from Super Condo all the way to the town lift at Park City. It was a big day, barely made it for the cutoff, about 35,000 vertical feet in a day, and skied every lift serve area on the entire mountain. I had some tired legs after that.
Legs were burning.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. Big mountain.
I heard you were in your hot tub for like 3 hours
afterwards recovering.
That's an amazing feat, and I can assure our audience that I am never going to try that. All right, give us some more details on this, Doug.
Well, Barron's magazine, investment periodical, their Penta magazine ranked Park City #3 is the best place in the U.S. to have a second home. And I thought that was interesting. That's above #7 of Vail, Colorado.
Wow, that's impressive.
Very impressive. So some of their featured highlights, of course, was, like I just mentioned, Vail Resorts coming in and making that just a huge 7,300 acre ski mountain, making it the largest resort in the U.S. Of course, we're all very spoiled with our 35-minute commute from the international airport.
Yep.
Sundance Film Festival is always a hoot every year. We report on that quite often. The newly reopened Kimball Arts Center, and Vail's Epic Ski Pass that now covers all 12 of Vail's resorts worldwide.
One pass gets you onto all the resorts. It's incredible. And formerly two, now one, is right in our backyard.
Indeed. They highlighted some of the nicer luxury neighborhoods, Stein Erikson residences in Upper Deer Valley, true ski in, ski out single family homes. Old Town, of course, if you'd like to be right there in a nice walkable community to all the charm of Old Town and all the restaurants and dining and nightlife. Park Meadows, as you know, very luxury golf course community, and Enclave at Sun Canyon, nice brand new construction mountain contemporary homes.
All right, well, it's nice that Barron's is paying attention to Park City, and rated it so high worldwide. All right, let's turn our attention to the market. Over the past 12 months, there's been 1,338 sales. This is homes, condominiums, and vacant land combined. This is all real estate brokerages combined, and that's actually down about 59 sales, or 4% from that same 12-month period the year before. And when we break this down a little more specifically, this graph here shows us homes, condos, and lots, and the number of sales in each. The red bars represent April 2015 through March 2016. The silver is the 12-month period the year before. You can see that homes down about 7% from 527 to 490. Condos are actually up by 4 from 660 to 664, 1% increase. And lots, 210 the year before, now 184. That's a decrease of about 12%. Lack of inventory has definitely had an impact on this. It's not an indicator of a lack of interest on the part of buyers, but a lack of choices acceptable to buyers.
We look at home sales broken down into Park City and the Snyderville Basin. In Park City, down 13% from 179 to 156 sales. And out in the Snyderville Basin, down 4% also from 348 sales to 334 sales.
Now here we're looking at condominiums. Within the Park City limits, down by 19% from 374 sales to 302. Again, limited supply is impacting it. However, when there is supply, you can see in the Snyderville Basin, up 27%. So if buyers have something to buy that's acceptable, they're out there buying it. Rose from 286 sales all the way up to 362 sales in the past 12 months.
And as we talked about lot sales with the reduced inventory, you can see in Park City limits down 35% from 43 sales to 28 sales. Just no more land to buy in Park City. Out in the Basin, Snyderville Basin down 7% from 167 sales to 156 sales. Much larger sampling in Snyderville Basin.
We always like to look at the days on market because it's an indicator of how strong the market is and does it favor sellers versus buyers. Here we're comparing year over year, and the number of average time on the market is 100 days compared to 120. So that favors the sellers. You've got a strong market for properly priced properties for sale. Speaking of prices, let's talk about prices. What's happening there?
Well, as you can imagine, with reduced inventory and good buyer demand, we're still seeing an increase in median sold prices. In Park City, up 12% over the previous year, from $1,336,250 to $1,500,000, and in the Snyderville Basin, 10%, from $799,000 median to $882,000.
So double digits in both Park City and the Snyderville Basin. Do pay attention to this $1,500,000 median price in the city and $882,000, because we're going to talk about that in just a moment when it comes to the impact of medium sold prices on selling your property. But let's turn to condos here real quickly. Condos in the Park City limits rose by 8% in terms of value, from $535,000 being the median price to $580,000, and then double digits in the Snyderville Basin, 12% increase from $366,700 all the way up to $410,000. So nice to see those values go up. Here we're looking at land, and in the city limits, it climbed 27% from $550,000 to $700,000, and in the Snyderville Basin, climbed 36% from $295,000 to $400,000. Do keep in mind, we're not talking about that many sales, and so you could have this year, past year compared to the previous year, a superior location, outstanding views that simply weren't being offered the year before, and that could account for a 20 or 25% increase single-handedly. So if you're curious about the value of your property, contact us. We'll give you the relevant information. We just don't want you to misinterpret this statistic here. So why is medium sold prices so important? We report on this all the time to give you an indicator of where the market is year over year comparison. And it's important because it often shows us the precise behavior of the market. And this information that I'm going to share here, we've never spoken about on our webinars, but it's actually pretty interesting. There's a relationship between medium sold price and absorption rate. What the absorption rate is the rate in which it takes for the current inventory of similar properties to sell in the market based upon the past history of sales. To illustrate, the way we determine the absorption rate is we, number one, identify comparable sold properties. So if you were considering putting your home or your condo on the market, we would begin by identifying comparable sold properties over the past year. We would then calculate the rate of sales. Now, by illustration, let's say over the last year of the comparable sold properties, there were 12. Well, if there were 12, then they were selling at a rate of 1 sale per month, 12 per year. That's an important statistic. Then we take a look at what your current competition is, and let's say there were 24 properties on the market. If that's were the case, if we then look at the rate of 1 sale a month, then we've got a 24-month inventory. That's the absorption rate. That's the length of time that it takes the current marketplace to absorb the list of properties on the market if no new ones come on the market. So that's absorption rate. Now, here's how it relates to medium sold prices. We reported earlier that the medium sold price inside the city limits is $1,500,000. This is the key thing. If somebody prices their property at or below that $1,500,000 range, assuming that's an appropriate price for your property, the absorption rate is 2.3 months. So a little over 2 months to sell your property. If you price over medium sold price, in this case over $1,500,000, the absorption rate extends all the way out to 18.4 months. So it goes from 2 months to a year and a half.
That's a massive difference.
That's huge. So the medium home sale price needs to be considered. Now you adjust for factors related to your property, but you can't ignore it when you see this. We're going to illustrate it here in the Snyderville Basin. Similar thing, the medium sold price we reported on was $882,000. If you priced your property at or below the medium sold price, probably sold it in between 2 to 3 months. If you priced it over, it took 11.4 months, almost a year to sell. So this is an important element if selling within a certain time period is important to you. If you don't care if it sells or not, then it doesn't matter. But in most instances, people want to sell the property if they put it on the market. So if you price your property at or below the applicable medium sold price for your property, you will likely sell it within 2 to 3 months. If, however, you price your property above the applicable medium sold price, you may be looking at 12 to 18 months to sell it. And that's a huge difference. So you need to decide what your objectives are and price your property accordingly.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. How about this? When we talk to sellers and they're evaluating their price, we always ask, at least in our own minds, if not stated out loud, is your property for sale or for keeps? When we factor that into what we just discussed about medium sold price, if you wanted to sell your property, then you'd price it approximately around the medium sold price or below. If you want to sell it, if you want to keep your property, if it's for keeps, you can price it any price you want. Because it's going to take you 12 to 18 months at the soonest if you overprice your property. Well, hope that's helpful, kind of in your face sort of information, but it's important for you to know if you're a seller considering selling your property.
As the snow has melted and we are transitioning into Park City's home selling season, there's a few factors that you want to take into consideration when selling your property. 3 important factors is the type of property, your neighborhood or condominium project, and the price point. The type of property are homes, condominiums, or of course home sites. And neighborhood or condo project, if you have single family neighborhoods, condominium projects, or single family lots.
Okay, so ultimately what we're doing is we're taking this broad amount of information we cover with you and you start dialing it down as you transition into the home selling season. Then what you want to do is you want to look at certain price ranges. As we look at the activity in the marketplace, we can see what prices properties have been selling at, and we can also see if there's a lot of options available for today's buyers or if it's a limited supply. That, of course, is going to influence where you choose to list your property. There's more elements to that, but in order to make it relevant for your particular situation, owning a home or a condominium or a lot, we've got to actually give you the information relevant to your property. So we just want to kind of hit on that Those are some of the elements that you want to consider. I do want to show you how you can find out what the market is doing, and our website is set up to do that really, really easily. BuyParkCityRealEstate.com is the website, and I'm going to point you to search by subdivisions. It's a pull-down menu. Let me just flash this on the screen here so I can demonstrate it. Here we are at our website. This is the home page, and across the top there's a number of pull-down menus. When I go just below the Watch a Webinar Now, I go to the Search by Subdivisions. There are major subdivisions and areas in our multiple listing listed here: Park Meadows, Pine Brook, Promontory, and so forth. If one of them is not mentioned here, or it's a specific condo property, you just type it in this blank spot and click Find. But I'll just use Park Meadows for right now. Click on Park Meadows, and this will instantly take you to information on the Park Meadows area. From here you scroll down a little bit, and it will take you to properties that are currently on the market. Now this is all of them, and there's quite a few pages worth. At the very top here, we give you the ability to select certain price range, so you don't have to look at everything from $250,000 to $7 million. So by illustration, I'll just select $2.5 to $3 million. Click on that, and instantly that will take you to the information that you're interested in. Now it's reduced those several pages to 4 properties to consider. That's your competition. So if you want to know at any point in time how many properties in your neighborhood or your condominium property are on the market, you go to the home page, you select Search by Subdivision, you either type in your condo name or you choose the subdivision. It will take it to this page, and you'll have the information right there. And you can click on any of these properties and decide the details and how it compares to your property. I do want to also point you to this element on our website, how you can request current market data on sold properties. And the reason why I mention this, again going back to our website, is this tells you what's on the market, but it doesn't tell you what has sold and the prices. So what you would do is you just go into the browser bar at BuyParkCityRealEstate.com/recent sales, and when you go to that page, you'll come to this page, and it's very simple. It says current sales data request. Take less than a minute to fill it out. There's just some fill-in boxes. If you have any particular questions, write in the comments and then select the submit form. That will come to us. We will contact you, give you the information you're after. It's just that easy. We're very much into making sure you have good, relevant, current information on the market, and you don't have to be planning to sell. You can just be curious. Take advantage of that opportunity. Now, we do want to mention, as we do talk about this transition, that is this the right time to sell your property? The best time to sell is during the home selling season, and it really is right now between mid-April and mid-May.
So like Ron said, to get a free property value assessment, you can just go on the website or just give us a call at the 800 number, 800-535-0151, and we'll be happy to get that over to you.
All right. Finally, tips to prepare your home to sell. These are always helpful. You always want to get the best possible price, and there's things you can do to the inside and the outside of your home. Our problem is we've run out of time. We knew there was a chance of this, so next month we're going to cover that topic. It's a little bit of a cliffhanger, at least we hope it is for you. So the May 2016 Market Talk webinar will devote plenty of time to tips to getting your home sold. If you're looking at putting on the market prior to that, just contact us. We'll give you those tips. We don't want you to have to wait.
Well, it always says people come here for the winter but move here for the summer. Park City in summer is just so gorgeous, and there's so much to do. You can see some of the pictures there. Mountain biking, already Round Valley trails are open, the Glen Wild trails are open, even some of Lost Prospect there. You can see the stand-up paddle boarding and all the water sports out of Jordanelle. From wakeboarding and water skiing is so much fun. Park City Follies, always a good hoot. Did want to make a special note there for you so you're aware. The Kimball Arts Festival typically is that first weekend in August. It has been bumped to August 12th to the 14th in 2016. So it is a week later, and that is because of a conflict of scheduling with the Tour of Utah. The bike race, the hardest stage race in the U.S. comes through Park City and finishes here right on Main Street. It's really fun to go watch. But so that was a little conflict. That'll be the first weekend in August, and you can see the stage there with the Park City Institute, the St. Regis Big Stars Bright Nights. Great lineup. I tell you, there's just nothing better than just to go out on Deer Valley and watch live music under the stars. And you can see that big, nice stage. Some nice names here. Some of the big Trace Adkins, Jewel, Mike Posner is very popular right now. So really good time. Go see some live music.
All right, so a lot of things happen here in the summer, even though you thought it only happened during the winter. If you have any questions, we are here, Doug, myself, to answer your questions. Send us an email, ron@thewilsteinteam.com or doug@thewilsteinteam.com. If you want us to give you a call, just share your phone number and we will reach out to you, and we're happy to do that. So we want to thank you for joining us on this webinar. We appreciate you taking the time. We hope that it has been helpful for you.